I really need a life, don't I? I wonder if I could do a whole video like this with a jaw on my nose and people wouldn't even notice. Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with yet another video. Can you believe it? And this time I'm at the very bottom of the barrel to do a video. And I'm going to tell you about 10 toys that I wish they made in the 80s. Now, some of you are going to say, hey, they made that in the 90s or something. Well, I'm talking about when I was a child. These are toys I wish I had a child that are Star Wars related. These are things that were never made. I'm not looking at stuff that was planned, unproduced, or something like that. This is just stuff, as a kid, I remember saying, I wish I had that, but in a Star Wars theme. Now, as always, go to Patreon, support us there, or become a YouTube supporter. You know all that. Buy a cool t-shirt. Boom, there it is. Get the t-shirt. Get your loved one something nice to wear, a junk shirt. Junkmanmerch.com. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Oh, I already told you what we're going to talk about today. Stupid me. I got a list here. 10 things I wish they made when I was a kid. So, let's just start off. Number one. Muscle figures, but Star Wars muscle figures. You remember these? I call them muscle figures, but they were M.U. That's too hard to say. Muscle. These, I remember they did like some wrestlers. They did some wrestler figures. And I think they maybe did some others. There's little plastic rubber action figures, real small. Probably smaller than a Jawa. Probably could fit it up my nose. But why didn't they do a Star Wars theme one? It cried out for Star Wars theme. It would have been cool to have a little Darth Vader, a little Yoda. I mean, they did the rubber eraser figures that look kind of like them, I guess. But Muscle should have teamed up with Star Wars. I don't know who made Muscle figures, but they should have teamed up with Kenner or someone that had the license of Star Wars and gave us Muscle Star Wars figures. Why didn't they do that? I don't know. Somewhere out there in an alternate universe or way in a galaxy far away, someone is playing with Muscle Star Wars figures. Maybe it'd be us. Maybe not. Number two, a dashboard Falcon. What is a dashboard? What are you talking about, Junkman? That's probably what you're saying right now. You're getting ready to get over to your computer. Hey, what you talking about? What you? Okay. What am I talking about? You remember a dashboard? Let me look at the camera. I have my eye over here like I was a walleye or something. Dashboard figures. Figures. What am I talking about? Not dashboard toy. This is when I was really little. It would be a little plastic thing that looked like the inside of a car. Have a steering wheel. Have probably a gear shift. And a little light up screen. You usually have a little plastic car that just did like this when you move the steering wheel. It was very cheap. It was called Learn to Drive sometime. But these were big in the 70s and 80s. They probably still made them in the 90s. Still might make them today. Probably an app on your phone nowadays. High-tech kids. But I always thought it would have been cool to have one that looked like the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, I said cock. A cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. That would have been cool. Especially 77, 78 when I was still a wee little lad. That would have been very awesome. Have a little, I guess Falcon didn't have a steering wheel. They have to lock in your auxiliary power thing instead of a gear shift. I don't know. They could have just made up some kind of fake little steering wheel or something. Sure, they could have came up with something. Wouldn't have been that hard. And there I go again, looking up instead of at the camera. Looking wall-eyed once again. People's going to be like, hey, Junkman's got a fake eye I didn't know about. Number 3. These aren't in any really kind of order. I just wrote them down so I would have them. Put a number next to them so I know I would have 10 of them. Robotech toys. Remember Robotech? I had these. These were like erector sets or something. They were like metal. You make all kinds of robot-like stuff with them. Not only would you make robots, you would make all of these kind of like space-looking vehicles with it. I'll put a picture here because I'm not really explaining it really good. I know I had one that came with an astronaut figure that was about the same size as a Star Wars figure. And that's why I was like, why did they make this? You could make a land speeder or X-Wing. You could make your own Star Wars ships. These guys should have teamed up and did Star Wars. Again, Robotech. I said that Robotech. I remember I had a little astronaut guy, and I always, being that I had that guy, and he ended up with my Star Wars figures because he was the same size. I always thought, wouldn't that be cool? You could do, come with a little manual, make your own stuff from Star Wars, or make something that just looks Star Wars-ish. That would have been pretty cool too. Hold on now. Let me stop the video, because some of you probably saying, Junkman's full of shit. He always says he had this stuff as a kid. He didn't have no astronaut action figure that was the same size as Star Wars figures that came with this Robotech thing. You think I'm making it up? You think I would make it up to you guys? Well, check this out.
And a robot, or whatever. It came with this man, you know? Mm-hmm. Get a focus on it. Is it focused, Chip? Yeah. Okay.
Here's something, too. I wish why didn't they make it? Now, they have gone on and made it since the 80s, but as a kid, I would have loved to have a Star Wars bicycle. Now, maybe they did make a Star Wars bicycle. I looked around. I couldn't find any information about one, and I sure don't remember having one as a kid or seeing one in a store or anything. Now, they did make some Star Wars stickers from Huffy that you could put on your bike and turn your bike into a Star Wars bike. I know they did for one for Return of the Jedi, and what else did they do? Oh, they did an Ewok one for the Ewok girls. So they did make some stickers to turn your bike into a Star Wars bike, and of course they did the speeder bike, the giveaway, but they didn't sell that at stores. That would have been too awesome to have. But a cool bicycle, man. It didn't have to actually look like, they didn't have to fix it up to look like something from Star Wars. Sorry about that. They didn't have to fix it up to look like something from Star Wars. Would have been cool if they did, But they could have just gave it some kind of Star Wars paint job, put Star Wars on the side of it. Anything. Because when I rode my bike as a kid, we had a big hill by my house, and I would go down it. I've talked about it before. And I would always act like I was Luke Skywalker, either on a speeder bike or before that just in his X-Wing, where I would shoot stuff, act like I had lasers that came out of my handlebars. And like I said before, I've got a big manhole cover at the end of this hill. Oh, man. I loved manholes back then. It's one thing about me. You could say, "What? Hey, where's Junk Kid?" They say he's probably down the street playing with that manhole. I loved playing with manholes when I was a kid. I don't know if I could fit in a manhole today. Probably be a tight fit trying to get into a manhole today. But anyway, I would go down this big old hill, and I would try to time it just right, where I hit the buttons on the imaginary buttons on my handlebars, and count to 10. And at 10, my front tire had to be on top of that manhole to blow up the Death Star. Pretty fun, right? So if I had a bicycle that looked like Star Wars or just said Star Wars on it, that would have made my day. Now this one's Kenner toy related. This is one playset that I wish, I was going to do this video started out as 10 Kenner Star Wars toys I wish we got. Playsets I wish we got. But I think Kenner did pretty good with the playsets. They might have could have made them a little better, but overall I think we got most of the playsets we could have got. But why didn't we get a Cloud City freezing chamber playset? Now we did get that cardboard backdrop that they say is a playset, but it wasn't a playset. It was a stand for figures with cardboard on it. But we needed something really, really cool. Maybe somebody to freeze Han Solo and make it look like he's frozen. Some kind of little gimmick. You drop him down, pull out the carbonite or something. They could have done something so cool with the freezing chamber set. Why didn't they do it? I don't know. That just seems like if you watch Empire Strikes Back, that just seems like the one the Kenner people would have said, we've got to make this. I mean, they made Dagobah playset, for crying out loud. Before Dagobah, they should have had on the shelf a freezing chamber playset. Little stairs going up and everything. And I know now you can buy half of one. You can buy the steps or go on Hasbro's website and buy the steps to it or something. But that would have been freaking awesome to have. Now, I had my own made up freezing chamber. It was a glass with water in it. I would put Han Solo in it, or whoever else that day. It wasn't always Han Solo. Put him in the freezer. The bad thing is I had to wait overnight, and he would be a solid block with Han Solo frozen inside. That was my carbonite freezing chamber playset. a glass of water in the refrigerator. That was until your dad came in there and wanted to know why there was a doll in his favorite glass in the freezer. Or your brother slings open that door and that bottle glass falls out and busts on the floor. And somehow it's your fault. I didn't open the door really fast. When I open a freezer door, I make sure there's no action figure inside of a glass of water. Who doesn't do that? But no, older brother got to yank up the door and let a glass fall on the ground and bust. And it's our fault. We're the odd ones. Because we have a toy in the freezer and a glass of water. But we're odd. Some things you're just not made to understand. Okay, where are we at now? Number 6. They made the Han Solo gun. I got it way up there. I don't know if the camera gets it. Han Solo gun. They made a stormtrooper gun. They even made the biker scout gun. But Kenner, why didn't you make a Boba Fett gun? How awesome would that have been? And I wish they would have done them all, done like a Bespin gun, and kept going with it. Instead of just giving us that Han Solo pistol, renaming it to a Luke pistol, giving us the rifle. Remember, they even had a carrying case rifle. I don't even remember seeing that rifle in the movie. But Boba Fett's gun, that would have been cool to have as a kid. And probably as a kid, I probably didn't even really know what Boba Fett's gun looked like. I don't even know if it's in the movie. Maybe in Return of the Jedi. But they could have slapped any kind of gun and said, Bounty Hunter Boba Fett gun. And I would have bought it and ran around the house with it. Now that we almost did get a Boba Fett role-playing set. Sadly, it didn't come with a gun. But check it out. Take a look at it. As you can see, it came with a weapon sleeve, thermal rockets, binders, aka handcuffs, a belt buckle, utility storage, which is just a fancy word for a very cool fanny pack, and a thermal detonator. That detonator would have been cool for sure. Man, that would have been awesome to have too. Sadly, we didn't get that. That was just something Kenner was thinking up and we didn't get. Whew. I still don't understand how it's my fault that it's glass, an action figure. Okay, sure, I admit I had about 10 glasses with water in the freezer with about 10 different figures in it, but you don't understand. The Empire captured all the rebels and was going to freeze them all for this massive experiment they were going to do. Open a freezer gently. You don't just yank open a door. Ooh, Grammy stepped on glass and cut her foot. That was going to happen anyway. Gammy walked around the house with no shoes on. How's that my fault? Okay, where am I at? Okay. Number 7. A handheld Star Wars game. Why didn't we get this? Why? You know, like a Tiger Electric game. Now, again, I think we did get one in the very late 80s, early 90s. But again, I'm talking about when I was a kid. Why didn't we get this? Those road trips, when you all I had to play with was that bubble water hoop game. Or maybe a magic pad that I picked up at a Stuckey's. Why? Why didn't they give us a handheld game? Sure, those handheld games was crappy. They were stupid. They wasn't too fun, more than 5 minutes. But hey, if it had Star Wars on it, I would have bought it and I would have played it all the way on a road trip. Why didn't we get that? Where am I at now? Now, number 8. More when I was real little. Star Wars Weeble Wobbles. Now, one of you guys, last time I talked Weeble Wobbles, told me in the comments, they're not Weeble Wobbles. They're called Weebles, and they wobble. So, they're Weeble Wobbles. That's what the ad says. Weebles, wobbles, but they don't fall down. Well, I don't know. I called them Weeble Wobbles as a kid, and today I'm still going to call them Weeble Wobbles. That's what I always thought they were. That's what I always called them. That's what everybody I knew called them. And why? Why didn't we get any Star Wars Weeble Wobbles? Why? Why? Weeble Wobble Guide? Why didn't we get Weeble Wobble Star Wars? Guess the guy that invented Weeble Wobbles, John K. Wobble, didn't want to do a deal with Lucasfilm or 20th Century Fox or somebody. Now here's one for number 9 I talked about before. How? It's a sin that we went through the 70s, 80s, the new years of Star Wars, when Star Wars was slapping on everything, But we didn't get Star Wars Colorforms. Sure, we got Star Wars Presto Magic. I did a whole video of that. Horrible. I tried to do one, it didn't work. Well, of course, it was 40 years old almost, but why didn't we get Star Wars Colorforms? Now, I had a Smurf Colorform. I had a Pac-Man Colorform. I think I had almost every color. I had a Good Times Colorform. I had all kinds of Colorforms. My favorite was my Sanford & Son Colorform. But did I have a Star Wars Colorform? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Well, now let's go to number 10. And this one, if the Colorforms was a sin, this one's an abomination. This one is just too... and when I tell you they didn't make this, you're going to say, wait, they didn't make that? I thought they made that. They didn't make that? They did what? That's what you're going to say. So, I'm going to tell you what we didn't get. Are you ready for this? Star Wars Viewmaster. Now, of course, we got the hand crank movie viewer from Hasbro. From Kenner. And that was pretty cool. And we had the projectors that you put a film strip in, and it would shine on the wall. That was very cool too. I like that. But Star Wars Viewmaster, click, 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 click. The reel turns around. Scenes from Star Wars in 3D. Viewmasters 3D. Now, I didn't know 3D. For a long time when I had a Viewmaster, I would close one eye and look through it. I don't know why. As a kid, I would close one eye and look through my Viewmaster. And I didn't know till I was probably 12 or 13 that if I opened both of my eyes, the image was in 3D. Because you had a lens here and you had a lens here. You had the film cell here and a film cell here on the reel. It would put it in 3D. I remember I had the Jetsons cartoon. And I was like, oh my God, this is 3D. I was really into 3D. Okay? Around this time, around 12 or 13, I was really into 3D. So, Star Wars on a Viewmaster in 3D. Luke, Obi-Wan and Vader's fight, seeing that in 3D would have been awesome. Like I said, I was really into 3D. I would have to go to the gas station or the local grocery store and pick up these 3D glasses because there would be some old movie from the 60s on television or probably the 50s. And it would be special one day only, 7 o'clock, Wednesday night. Fake King Kong movie in 3D. And I would have to go get my glasses. Go now to Jiffy Lube and get your glasses. And I would have to go get my glasses and then had to go see Jaws 3D just because it was in 3D. I was really into 3D. I used to take my old comic books that I had. Didn't have many, had a few. And I would color red around the edges, blue around the edges, and put on my 3D glasses. Yeah, back when they were red and blue. Try to make my own 3D comic. And I had some 3D comics. I even had the 3D Star Wars comic. Well, I didn't have 3D. There's 3D Star Wars comics. I didn't have them as a kid, but I got them now. But had an Ultraman 3D comic. I love 3D. And something about these 3D movies today, they're just not the same. I remember seeing Jaws and sharks would come out shit like this. They would come from all over the place. Now it seems like you put on these glasses and it's got some depth to it, but it just wasn't as fun as those blue and red lenses. To me, I guess that's crappy to the kids today, but I love seeing that. Woo! Where we at? Yeah, number 10, Star Wars. We never got a Viewmaster. Now, and when the Attack of the Clones came out, they did release a Star Wars Viewmaster that looked like Darth Vader. And I think they only did one reel from Attack of the Clones. They didn't even go back and do the old movies or the other prequels. We didn't even get episode 1 or 3. Star Wars Viewmaster. Can you believe they didn't make Star Wars Viewmaster? I thought they made every... Hold on, I'll give you a second. You got kids in the room. Tell your kids to get out. Tell your kids to... I'll give you... They even made Viewmaster porn. I guess it wasn't really porn, but they made Viewmasters, adult Viewmasters. Nude ladies. Sorry, girls. I don't think they made any new men Viewmasters. Probably would need a bigger lens to look through. But yeah, I don't know if it was official or not, but you could get reels with naked ladies in it. Never saw that as a kid. I would have been so confused if I did. But I didn't have time to look at naked ladies through a Viewmaster. I was too busy looking at manholes in the street. love me some manholes. I mean, I got in this one manhole, and my friend Boyd was like, "What a wonderful smell you discovered." And I was like, that's the price you play. That's the price you pay for playing with a manhole. Good days, good days. Anyway, that's a look at 10 things I wish that they made that was Star Wars related back when I was a kid. Tell me in the comments below some stuff you wish they made that they didn't, that they could have added a Star Wars theme to it and made it extra cool. Let me know in the comments below, and always please subscribe to the channel. Thumb it up so I know you like my content, and we'll talk again soon.
Junkman. Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.